Hello and welcome to another episode of Speak Up. I am so excited. I want to remind you though that Speak Up is brought to you by Televida, one of the best production teams that I've ever worked with. Now, get ready for this. Guess where I am right now? I am sitting in the Seven Oaks Shopping Center in what used to be one of the richest neighborhood stores that everybody knew about, Leon's Thriftway. And if you recall, a couple of years ago, Mr. Leon had to shut down and the neighborhood was devastated. But what happened and what has taken place since then is nothing less than amazing. I want to introduce you to the dedicated Senior Medical Center. I'm sitting here this morning. I have the honor of speaking with the Senior Center Director, John Hart, and the Center Medical Director from Independence. They have an Independence location, Dr. Gray, Shalonda Gray. I want to thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
And I know that the neighborhood is going to be excited. I was like over the moon when I came last week and I saw this and I walked in and I was like, okay, fairies came and they put this building here.
Right.
And I know that Mr. Leon, the Stapletons are very pleased with what has occurred in a space that was so near and dear to them. So tell me, what's the story behind Dedicated Senior Medical Center? Never heard of it.
Well, I'll start. First, thank you for having us. We are very excited about our senior medical centers, and like you said earlier, here in Seven Oaks, and then a location in Independence, and Leon's Thriftway. To be able to open a center here is unimaginable. It's just wonderful. They started over 50 years ago,
Yes.
and they were the biggest Black-owned supermarket in not only Kansas City, but probably this region or the country even.
Yes.
They opened 1968 when right after Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, and their goal was to give services to people in need and people in our community. And that's what we want to do.
Yes.
We want to do the same thing. We want to serve our most neediest population, our seniors and our most vulnerable communities all over Kansas City. So we're very excited to be here. So thank you for that.
Well, absolutely. And the legacy of serving the community,
Absolutely.
having something that comes back to serve the community. So, John, I'm going to ask you, because I understand there's a story behind this center and why it was created. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the Dedicated Senior Medical Center. We are part of ChenMed, which is an family-owned company based out of Miami, Florida. And Dr. James Chen, 30 plus years ago, he had a scare with cancer.
Wow.
Where he was diagnosed with cancer, and they said, hey, you have about 8 weeks to live. He couldn't get a doctor's appointment for about 9 weeks. Now, fortunately, Dr. James Chen, being a doctor, was able to get in a little bit sooner than that. I'm in a family of doctors, and it was, thank goodness, a misdiagnosis, and he is still with us today.
Wow.
But he and his family looked at each other, looked in the mirror, and like, if it's this difficult for a family of doctors to navigate the healthcare system, what's it like for everybody else?
Wow. So again, we go back to the service part,
Absolutely.
The people. Here we have a doctor who, quite frankly, a lot of times people go into the doctor's office and they think, my doctor doesn't care. He's just, going through the motions, and my health is more about the insurance that I can pay. So here you have a family of doctors that realize that there's a whole world out here, a whole lot more people that can't get services. If I can't get them with my status, what can the neighborhood get? So why did you guys choose 39th and Jackson? I mean, this is the heart of the urban core. This is one of the last places that services come to. And here you are. And your locations, when I look at them, and we'll talk about that a little bit, you're going in spaces that people normally don't look at first. So why here?
Well, we know as health professionals that if we're going to make a difference at all, we've got to do things differently than we have been. No longer are we concerned about profit and fee for service and those kind of things. We've got to get people healthier, and to get people healthier, you have to go into the communities where our most vulnerable patients live and work. These are those communities where we see a high number of patients with high-risk diseases, diabetes and high blood pressure and kidney disease. So we are going to those places, to those individuals who otherwise would not have a clinic in their neighborhood. We understand that in order to do medicine right, we have to address not only the medicine, but address other issues. So transportation and medicine and food shortages and those kind of things. So we're delighted to be here to kind of extend the legacy of Leon's Thriftway and really serve those that are in this community.
That's really huge too, because that's where the most need is.
Absolutely.
That's truly where the most need is. You know, I think about when I first walked in here, I want to know, John, how do you find your staff? These are the most amazing people that I've ever met. And it's really hard, especially for a senior. I know for me, to go into my doctor's office and the receptionist is not very well given.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you just stepped into, I'm having a bad day every time. But every time I've walked through this door, and the crazy thing was, I walked in with Chris last week, and I expected that.
Right.
Everyone was super duper nice from the moment I walked in the door. And then people, I didn't see anybody come in. This morning when I came in, you have a staff member or an officer sitting at the front door, opening the door for you. Then you walk in and people are greeting you with a welcoming smile, not something that's made up or, this is but these are genuine people. Where are you finding the staff? We have a staff shortage everywhere.
That's a proprietary secret. Right there. No.
Good one, yes.
Just, getting out into the community. Ideally, we want our team to reflect the communities that we serve. And then at the end of the day, it's the character of the people that we're hiring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed as a team, we've all worked jobs in the past where maybe that people weren't as welcoming when you come in the door.
Yes.
And so we don't just owe our patients, we owe ourselves as individuals, and then we owe our team members showing up each day, and not just, not a clock in, clock out job, but a job that, we're serving, we're calling.
Right.
And that's really the mission of ChenMed. If you go to the website, chenmed.com, right there and just look about us, it says that our mission is to glorify God by serving those that are in the most vulnerable populations. And by doing that, we're doing ministry. And so our staff members reflect that mission.
Yeah.
They reflect going out and being the hands and the feet of God in the community.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference when you like your job and you love the mission of the job that you're employed by.
So it kind of goes back to how medicine used to be practiced.
Sure.
Before big business became part of medicine.
Absolutely.
I am so excited. I think about seniors. This is phenomenal. I talked about it at church yesterday to some of my seniors. I've been talking about it since I left last week. It's
good.
like, this place is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think about my grandmother and my mother before they passed away, to have something in the community that I know when they go to the doctor, they're being heard, one. They're being cared for by someone who is in spirit, in the spirit of giving. This is bigger than medicine here. I feel it when I walk through the door. So tell me, how does it feel to come in every day to a place where you feel the spirit instead of just a job?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've worked in some great places who truly tried to embody a mission of giving, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. My husband's a pastor in Independence, and I'm a Christian physician, and just to know that you're truly in the ministry of healthcare, and you feel that every day.
Yeah.
And you start off every day with your teammates, just talking about what you're thankful for that day, and the discussions that come. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of like people that have been through some things or understand some things can work better through things. John, what's your story?
What is my story?
What's your story? I mean, because it's hard to lead. I'm in a leadership position myself, and it is really hard to lead sometimes. And sometimes we have people that should not be in leadership positions.
Sure.
Not that they're bad people, but they just don't know how to bring people together in leadership. What's your story?
My story, so I'm born and raised in Kansas City. Grew up on the Kansas side after being born on the Missouri side of things.
Dot or Johnson County?
Johnson County.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's okay. I'm
we'll
from the
let it
Missouri
slide.
side.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
And I went down the road to Lawrence, Kansas for college.
College? Okay, KU.
Worked here in
Jayhawk.
Kansas City. Yeah, Rock Chalk, our football team.
Look at him. I know my brother-in-law used to play for him years ago in the 80s. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, they're back.
They're back. I know they're looking good too.
Love
Five.
it. Yes.
5-0.
Yes.
So my first job out of college, I worked at Cerner. Learned a lot there, and really, the times that I was able to get into the hospital setting, I was like, man, there's a hustle and bustle here, and you're helping people. So at that point, I moved away actually, and moved up to Minneapolis. Got my master's in healthcare administration there, and I really with the idea of I want to be able to be a part of how I'm never going to be a doctor. I'm not smart enough for that. But how can I be a part of a team where we do help and impact lives?
Right.
And so that was my route to get there. Moved to Denver, Colorado, and worked at an academic hospital out there for 5 or 6 years. And that was my first step into leadership. And I had been doing that for about 8 months, and then the pandemic hit.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, I was learning. I'm always learning every single day.
Yeah.
But that was my mission at that point, was how do I navigate and build a team that's resilient,
Right.
that's on the front lines every single day. We're sending medical assistants to the floors of the hospital and COVID units.
Yes.
This is pre-vaccine. And so how do I be a source of inspiration and hope for them? Because at the end of the day, if my team can't do their job, I'm not doing mine.
Right.
So that's, I wake up each day and I say, how can I make their jobs easier? Because they're the ones that are actually taking care of folks.
And you're bringing a wealth of understanding, because pandemic was hard on our seniors, very hard. And there was not a clinic right here that, people could have early symptoms and possibly come and be detected earlier on than, and when the pandemic hit, it hit with a vengeance. So kudos. I mean, the neighborhood is very, very fortunate to have like such a team of people who care enough. And then I went to Seven Oaks in kindergarten. I grew up kind of in the neighborhood. I'm a military brat, so I really moved around the city more than the state. So, Seven Oaks kindergarten, and then I think Bancroft and Graceland, and then St. Vincent's and Lillis, and then Ruskin. So I've been around. I've been around Kansas City. However, just the part dedicated, it means something.
Absolutely.
And I think about some of the seniors that are still in the neighborhood from when I was a kid. To be able to say, do you know that right down the block, you can get to a clinic? I heard you guys say something about transportation.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me about your transportation.
And those are the things we want our seniors to know. Do you know there is a clinic here that our goal is to get you healthier, to keep you out of the hospital, to keep you out of the emergency room? We have transportation that you just call. We'll set up transportation to come and get you and take you home right after. Any test you need, we can set up that same transportation to and from your tests as well.
So do you have a geographical area that you serve, or do you serve the entire Jackson County area?
Pretty much all of Jackson County at this time, as we're getting things off the ground. I mean, we really want to serve this local community that we're in.
Yes.
But if it means that we can take care of somebody, we will get them to and from our office.
Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt, because I know you have more than one clinic, and I know that you will be the the center
medical director.
medical director in Independence.
Independence off of 24 Highway. I believe it's 24 Highway and River Street, next to High Boy. There's a High Boy
Okay,
and a
yeah,
Dollar
next
General
to
right
High
there.
Boy.
Yes.
Okay.
But I tell you, I'm
Right
so
next-
excited just to be able to offer transportation, to offer over 300 medications, generic medications, that patients, when they see us, they go home with their medicines that day.
So you're going to have a pharmacy. You have a pharmacy
Medication
in
room, yeah.
medication
Yeah.
room,
Medication
or pharmacy,
room.
so they can fill their prescription here.
Absolutely. Yes.
How amazing!
Just convenient.
Yes.
Convenient.
Oh, well, it makes it easy.
Absolutely.
Makes it easy.
Absolutely.
And then they're not trying to get to the CVS's and the Walgreens, which
Right.
are sometimes hard to get to.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
So if I can come to my clinic and get my diagnosis, and then get prescribed something, and when I
Right.
leave, I have it in hand.
All by and being treated with the utmost VIP care.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, with the utmost VIP care. So we're talking not just doctors, but we're talking doctors with the spirit of Christianity, or I won't just say Christianity, with the spirit of God,
goodness.
Yeah.
the spirit of goodness
Yes,
and God. You know, and really have that spirit for people.
Right.
That is the main thing. Wow, I'm just. You blow people away with some of the things that we don't know in the community.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a chamber leader, one of the things I want to do is to make sure that we see the positive things that are going on in our community.
Sure.
We support the positive things that are going on in our community, and that we expose the positive things that are going on in our community. This clinic is going to be a legacy continued. You're taking what was put here to serve the community. And I know, Mr. Leon, there were times that people didn't have money,
Yes.
that Mr. Leon fed or would let them have a bill until they could pay their bill off. Never once turned anyone down that I know of as a kid growing
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Right.
So here now in its place, instead of some off the wall office space or something else that is meaningless to the community, new legacy, new life is built.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank
you know,
you.
I'm going to say this to everyone out there. The reason that we should go out every time we have an opportunity to go to the poll, and it doesn't matter who you're are voting for or who you are trusting, but make sure that it's things like this: medical care, our seniors and their Medicare. It's important, and being able to have those services comes with our vote, our voice, our vote. If there's anything, and I'm going to give both of you an opportunity to speak into that camera and say anything you want to say to the community about whatever you want to say. It's called Speak Up. Speak Up.
Go ahead.
I am so grateful that we were given the opportunity to introduce you to Dedicated Senior Medical Center. I totally agree that we have a responsibility and an opportunity to vote and let your voice be heard, especially for programs such as Medicare and medicine in general. So definitely speak up and get out there, give somebody a call if you need help registering or getting to the polls. But it's so important that we speak our voice. But thank you again for allowing us to just come and tell you a little bit about our amazing center. We hope that you'll call and ask us questions about it, or come and visit and take a tour with us.
Thank you so much for the platform and to get the word out about what we're doing here at Dedicated Senior Medical Center. I don't say this lightly. We all know that it's an opportunity and big shoes to fill moving into Leon Thriftway, and we don't take that lightly. We are here to serve, and at the end of the day, seeing is believing. So if this sounds too good to be true, you wouldn't be alone in thinking that, but
Right.
it is the real deal. I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, and it's yet to drop. But please come on by whenever you have the chance. We're open Monday through Friday, and we would love to care for you and honor you. Thank you.
And just for those that don't know, can you give us the address?
Yes, 4400 East 39th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, 64128.
In the Seven Oaks Shopping Center. So now, Remember this not the most exciting, the best news that we've had in a long time. I've had some good interviews, but this has been probably one of the best, and we have information for you. Who is the best team in town? Who brings the best Speak Up shows? Televida. Don't ever forget that Televida is the place you want to go every week. You want to know what's going on in this city. We have a ton of other shows that we talk about or that we produce. Come on out, get online, look for us, and I'll see you next week on Speak Up. Have a great day. Be a blessing to everyone you meet, and expect God to bless you. See you later.